Hello, 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 hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome, 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 welcome. And yeah, yesterday, Arsenal faced Monaco in Champions League, and they won. They won 3-0. It was weird game. I'm not gonna lie, hell of a weird game. Hell of a weird game. Basically, we saw Arsenal playing good, Arsenal playing questionable, and ultimately, well, not being good enough at many stages. But for today, we're definitely going to look at the game against Monaco. We're going to look at Arteta's press conference after the Monaco game, some transfer news, and we're going to give out some player ratings and stuff like that, the usual things. So if you're new around here, of course, don't forget to smash that like, subscribe, get live interactive in the chat. If you're watching this playback, leave down a comment below. But yeah, I think there's no reason to sit on it too long. I think let's dig straight in. Let's dig straight in and let's talk about the game. Let's talk about the game. Big up, Nathan. Big up, big up, big up, big up. Big up, Nathan. Hope you enjoyed the game yesterday. Hope you enjoyed the game yesterday. So, yeah. Arsenal 3, Monaco 0. Ultimately, we are Saka FC once again. Like, we have been a Saka FC since he basically burst into the scene, let's be real. But ultimately, in the last 2 years, as much as we have relied on Saka, we also kind of wasn't so reliant on him. And this was the game where we actually had to rely on him because the rest of the players pretty much were god-awful. And I don't mean per se gameplay-wise, the output-wise, but more specifically finishing-wise, because our players are just not good enough. Couldn't hit war if they were standing on a boat. Couldn't score with a 1 grand on the red district and all that stuff. It was actually quite embarrassing. Enjoyed that first half, dude. Don't even get me started. The madness I was tweeting out at times, it was actually hella insane on X, not Twitter. I let it be Twitter. It was actually kind of nuts. But yeah, if we didn't have Bukayo Saka, we had Reece Nelson or someone else there, Raheem Sterling, pretty much we would have been chalked. We would have been chalked, and we should have been 4-5-0 up in the first half. Let's be real. But we were only 1-0 up. In second half, also, it could have easily been 1-1 and then win a whole different game. Monaco, if they were more clinical, if they had a proper striker up top, also could have been 2-1 up, let's be real. But ultimately, it was quite rough, quite nuts and quite insane. Yeah, we somehow are third in the Champions League. How has that happened? Also, I have no idea, but in a way, I'm happy that it is that way, because so far from Arsenal, if we win against Dinamo Zagreb at home next game, and we win against Girona away, we are guaranteed to be in top 8. We need to win both the games, and we are guaranteed. If we win against Zagreb and draw against Girona, it could be a bit 50-50, but we still can get in it. Apparently, according to calculations for people who like data, we have 88% chance to qualify in top 8. That is how high it is. So 12% chance of failure. If we ball this, it's actually going to be kind of nuts. And at the same time, we are 100% guaranteed to go through. So that is a good one. The question is, will we go through first 8 and automatically go forwards? Or we will basically be in the extra stage where anything can happen. But about yesterday's game, starting 11, Raya, Partey, Saliba, Kivior, Skelly, Odegaard, Rice, Merino, Saka, Jesus, Martinelli. I'm not gonna lie. What's its face? Oh, for fuck's sake. The Mikel Arteta was saying that Partey is questionable and other players are questionable, Timber and everything, but they played yesterday. So some mind games and dark arts from Mikel Arteta, but let's be real, he does that, and basically when we do these predicted 11s, we pretty much need to basically any single player, unless it's confirmed that he's out for extended period of time, might as well say he's gonna start. Let's be real, because the way Arteta is doing these things, it's actually kind of well. That backline though, that is nuts. That genuinely is nuts. Exactly. Luis Skelly yesterday was fantastic. I'm like, yes, it's Monaco, but Monaco is still a team you have to beat. But Skelly didn't fall out of the game. He was the guy who basically created the first goal. the drop of a shoulder, a bit of a skill pass into Jesus. Only good thing Jesus did in the first half, giving that in the game, to be honest, overall, giving that assist to Saka to finish, to make it 1-0. That was actually pretty damn nice. And this pretty much shows, I think, as well, with Miles Lewis-Skelly, how good he is, but also it shows where Mikel Arteta's head at is with Kieran Tierney. Because before this game, we were reading in the press conference where they talked about Martinelli, about Tierney, that yeah, he's training hard, he's doing this, he's doing that, and everything. And ultimately, we were there and we were looking at these things, and it kind of gave a bit of a potential chance that Tierney might start. But if he's starting Skelly before Tierney, it pretty much tells you that Tierney basically is gonna leave. He's gonna leave, he's not gonna play at all, pretty much. Either he wants to protect him so he doesn't get injured and we can sell him, or he actually wants to maybe just get it done. He prefers Skelly, let him get some game time. But yeah, Miles Lewis-Skelly surprised me a bit yesterday, I'm not gonna lie. He actually was pretty decent. And let's be real, if we look at the back line, we have two midfielders playing as wingbacks. Because Partey is a 6, Skelly also is technically a midfielder. Arteta just sees him as a left back, so hence why he's playing there. But the Skelly by default is a midfielder. Kivior as well, kind of very questionable, but still, yeah, Skelly was a beast yesterday, definitely. Skelly was a beast. Big up Marlon in the chat. But ultimately, one of the biggest things for me is the fact that having Partey at right back, Skelly at left back looks better. I'm not gonna lie, the left side, ultimately from yesterday's game, was actually good. It was actually decent. Yes, Martinelli maybe didn't score, didn't do these things, but ultimately, our left side looked more fluid. We actually were attacking more through the left side. And Odegaard as well, he wasn't single-handedly just forcing his way into the right side. He was drifting a bit more to the left as well. Hence why the left side also played a bit better. And for once, we actually have a left-footed left back and a left-footed midfielder in Merino at the left side. And I think that also played a very significant role in the way Arsenal were building up. Because usually we play someone like Timber there. He's right-footed and it's a forced pass. We play Declan Rice as an 8. And it's again a forced pass when we build the game. Declan Rice played as a 6, and that was actually fantastic to see. He's definitely a 6, he's not an 8. Let's be real, if Arteta actually can realize that in his thick Lego gelled hair, would be kind of nice. But ultimately, yeah, he has this also, Arteta has this willingness to kind of force in just signed players into the team. He did that with Havertz and Nane, then put him up top. Now he's doing that with Merino as well, partially. But you can see that Kivior looks much better as a center back, as a left back. Skelly, we haven't seen much in the midfield, but we have seen him as a left back, and he looked very decently there. Partey, let's be real, as a midfielder, no chance as being a right back. Merino, I still have no idea what's happening with Merino. I'm still I'm waiting for that moment until it actually clicks for him, because so far he's been bang average, to say the least. He raises more questions than give answers, so it's a bit of a iffy one. Now, Odegaard had I don't want to say he had a bad game, but he didn't have anything exceptional. He had a decent game. Bukayo Saka single-handedly carried the game. Jesus started, had 2 one-on-ones. Jesus had 2 bloody one-on-ones and he missed them both. Missed them freaking both. Odegaard, one-on-one, and he misses the target completely. Like, what are we doing here? Great, like, maybe it shows why Odegaard doesn't shoot as much or something. Because he just went one-on-one, put it on his strong foot, and completely missed the net. And he missed the goal as well by quite a margin. It wasn't like a near miss, he missed it by quite a while. So the question is Odegaard actually reluctant to shoot because he cannot finish, or he's afraid, or what? Or he just doesn't see it that way? And we remember those days, like we have had this before, and that is for me a big drawback. It's bad enough that he holds on for the ball for too long, because he had the same thing about Declan Rice running in between the lines yesterday and everything. He again held on to the ball way too much and didn't put it out. So I don't know what's happening there as well. But we had 3 one-on-ones. Martinelli had a chance to score as well, almost one-on-one. And we whiffed them all. We didn't score any of those. We could have scored about 4 or 5, if not, 4 or 5 goals in the first half. And we did nothing. And that for me is the biggest issue with Arsenal. We are just not good enough. See, we got about 7-8 chances to score this game. Right? We scored, no, 7-8? Actually more, but okay, 7 or 8. And we scored 3 of them. And we scored, the second goal for Saka was a gift because goalkeeper made a mistake. Havertz pressed him and Saka scored. And the third goal, yeah, it's put down to Havertz, but it is what it is. But overall, I'm not gonna lie. It is very, very questionable currently. Because we got that many chances and we didn't put them away. And now imagine in Champions League, we have to play against Juventus, Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Bayer Leverkusen even, Liverpool, if we get that draw on anything. And we won't get as many one-on-one chances, if we get any. And if we cannot even finish them against Monaco, like, it doesn't fill me with confidence against the bigger teams. And against the bigger teams also, the margins are even smaller. Because they can hurt you on a counter. They can score against you. Because Embolo missed a very good chance yesterday to score. And if they had actually a proper a striker force and proper attacker in that regard, they actually would have scored that and it would have been 1-1. And the game would have actually started from 0 pretty much then. And Monaco would have had all the momentum, if you want to say it that way. So the biggest issue for Arsenal at the moment is the clinical ability in front of the net. Because these chances, most of players we used to have, Aubameyang scores, Lacazette scores, Van Persie, Alexis, even Walcott has scored goals like that, being one-on-one. And why nobody wants to chip the keeper anymore? We just shoot it bottom side of the corner or something and just hope, or shoot it at the keeper. Alexis chipped, Van Persie chipped the goalkeeper, Ian Wright chipped the goalkeeper, Thierry Henry went one-on-one and chipped the keeper. How comes none of our attackers have enough ability to chip a goalkeeper these days? Because 99% of the time, goalkeeper is gonna dive. Or he's gonna get down on his knees to try and save a low-end shot, because in that instance, that's the highest chance of a shot that you're gonna make. So why nobody is chipping them anymore? Like, do they not train that? Is that a lost art form these days in football or what? Because in all of those instances when we were one-on-one, maybe not all, the Odegaard's one definitely, and the first one Jesus had as well, he could have chipped them and it would have been a goal. There's no defending that. Like, either they don't have the skill, they don't have the confidence or what, or it's really, really questionable. Why are we not scoring these chances? It's really, really annoying and it's really, really hella pissing me off these days. I'm not gonna lie. Like, as well, Saka Skelly started, right? But also, it was a forced start as well in a way. Because all of our players who could have started are injured. Okay, Timber didn't start because he has too many games. He needs to be fit for, I would assume, for Everton game as well. Like fitness, recover energy and everything. But again, we would start him at left back in this scenario because Partey would play right back. And that again doesn't fly with me. Because you saw we had all left footers on the left 8 and a left back. And Odegaard at times drifted into the left side. And it was working because it was all strong foot from the left and we could have actually done some direct attacks. And that actually was working for Arsenal. Why we don't utilize that more often, I have no idea. And I don't know what's happening with that. Skelly was a forced thing. The fact that Tierney didn't start pretty much shows where Arteta's mind is with Tierney. Even though he bigged him up a day before in an interview and everything. So that leaves more questions again, answers again. And what's going to happen now on when we play Everton this weekend? Skelly is going to start? I would start Skelly, let's be real. But most likely he's going to put Partey at the right back and Timber is going to start left back. And my oh my, why would he ever do that? Because Timber as a left back, as good as he's at left back, at right back he's 10 times better. Much more efficient, much more comfortable on the ball, in the attack, in defense. That right side in general with Partey, with Saliba, with Timber, with Odegaard even, and then on Saka, it's actually doing very, very well. Now we just need that on the left side. 19 days till January as well. We are almost in January. We're going to talk about January in a second. But there needs to do something. We need a striker. We need to address the attack in general. Because if we don't address this attack, we are done in Premier League, in Champions League, in all the cups. Because we need to score goals. Yes, we can create. Yes, we can defend and everything. But we need someone who can score on more consistent basis. Because we're not gonna get 7, 8, 9, 10 chances against bigger sides who actually know how to defend properly. Imagine going to Wanda Metropolitano to play against Simeone. The way he defends, the passion in that team, the way he plays. Do you think the way we are playing, we will create 10 chances against them, one-on-ones included? No chance in hell. We'll be lucky if we get like 3-4 chances. Like, we need to think about these things. How comes all the Arsenal fans can see this? Although not all of them see it, because I still see on social media saying Arsenal don't need a striker, by the way. And it's also in YouTube videos. Like, how blind you have to be not to sign a striker, a gunsman, a bagsman up top on who we can rely on most of the time. Because if we have a proper striker up top, let's be real, those 2 chances Jesus had, at least one of them goes into the net. If we had a proper finisher instead of Odegaard, that goes into the net. Ozil scores that. He has scored it countless times for Arsenal in those situations. Odegaard doesn't. Like, two most clinical finishers in Arsenal's team to this day, at the moment, specifically, is Saka and Trossard, by the way. It's not Martinelli, it's not Jesus or Havertz or anyone else. It's Trossard and Saka. And let's be real as well. Havertz yesterday showed what he is good at. Coming on off the bench as an impact sub. Because we play more dynamic, more fluid when he's on the bench. And when he comes on, he causes chaos on the pitch. And that's what we needed. That's why we scored the second goal. That's why we scored the third goal. Until that, we were closer to conceding than scoring in the second half until Havertz pretty much came on. So Havertz pretty much showed that he is better off the bench than as a starter. Which again means now that we actually need a striker. If this has proven anything, it just shows that the Arsenal's biggest problem is finishing. And we need a striker. Dude, I'm not saying that Trossard didn't stink yesterday. I'm just saying that in front of the net, if you are in these one-on-one situations, if Saka goes through, I'm putting my money on Saka to score. If Trossard goes through, I'm putting my money on Trossard to score more often than not. Rest of these guys who go one-on-one, what we have in the team, I have no confidence that they're gonna score more often than not. That's what I'm saying in general. I'm not saying about the performance, I'm saying about the ability. And for me, Saka and Trossard are the most clinical players we have in the team in front of the net currently. Yeah, Odegaard dropped the stinker yesterday. Yep. We need a new left wing who can finish in the box like Saka. We just don't need the left wing. We need an attacker. We need a striker and a left wing. Saka didn't have the best of games, but Saka is slowly learning and mastering this ability. Slowly, very slowly. Wish it would happen quicker. Is the fact that he doesn't need to have massive performance to get GA. Yes, he may not have the biggest performances, but he gets GA. And for Saka, that sometimes is the best thing he can do. Because no matter what, Saka is a threat on the pitch, which means that opposing team is gonna focus on him, which leaves other players more open on the pitch. And we need to take advantage of that. And that's why Saka many times drops a stinker. It's not like he doesn't know how to score, dribble, or do anything. It's just the tactics sometimes, and many times he just gets doubled and triple teamed. So he cannot kind of express himself properly. Yes, it's a skill issue to some extent, but ultimately it opens up spots for other players. And if we had a proper striker, that would also open up places for Saka to be more expressive. He could express himself more. But Saka is slowly learning this ability not to maybe be the main guy, not have the best eye test per se performance, but actually get GA on the board. Because last year it was as well. Saka didn't have eye-catching performances most of the season. At the same time, he has the best GA in the team. And that is massive. I think he needs to kind of add these performances in the big games. And on top of that, He needs to find a way to combine them both against the big, specifically in the big games, like against Bayern Munich, and then in Champions League, and against the big teams in even in Premier League. Yeah, genuinely, it's like in FIFA. You hit 30 and you lose all your pace. Something has happened to Trossard as well. We didn't cook. Let's be real. We didn't cook. It wasn't an amazing performance. It wasn't amazing performance. We just managed to get the result the way with as less damage as possible. It wasn't a great performance at all. We were not cooking per se. Yes, we had some one-on-ones and everything, but ultimately, if you don't finish them, it leads to nothing. Because there was a time until we scored the second goal, we could have been 1-1, we could have been 2-1 down. And then Saka scores the second goal because of Kai Havertz's pressing, and what keeper was doing there, I also have no idea. Let's be real. But ultimately, it wasn't an amazing performance. It wasn't a cookout or something like that. We just had a performance where we created, but ultimately it led to nothing almost. We could have been one of those games where we create and ultimately we get nothing. Like, for me, if it was a cookout, we would have won this game 5-6-0 easily. And that would be by 60th minute, by the way, not by 90th minute where Saka scores a random a random mistake, and Havertz then gets a deflected goal. That's for me. He's also not back. 19 exactly. Saka hasn't had the best performances this season, let's be real. He has had few performances here or there. But overall, he hasn't had the brightest season so far. But despite that, he has GA. And he has mastered it somehow. He's mastering this thing where he genuinely doesn't need to have the brightest performance to get GA. But that cannot tried as well. At some point, he needs to combine them both. Because against Bayern Munich, we saw how that went. Especially in Bayern. In Allianz Arena. And if it happens again, we won't do this later. Skelly was fantastic yesterday at left back. I'm not gonna lie, he was fantastic. And he has put in a big statement, playing from the beginning, to actually be a somewhat starter and one of the first choices if something happens to Arteta's favorite guy, Calafiori. Genuinely. The things he did for the first goal, dropping the shoulder, a bit of a skill, the through pass to Jesus and everything, that was fantastic. That was fantastic. Anyhow, player ratings. You want to do this quickly before we move on? You want to do some player ratings before we move on quickly? Genuine question. Anyone wants to do the player ratings, or we should just move on? Arsenal fans' standards are too low, giving Jesus a 6 for an assist up. Yeah, true. Not only chipping the keeper very high when our players score, chipping the keeper, shot high up, shotting in the corner, shot between the legs, and shot between the arm and leg. Yeah, but we didn't score where they see fit. The thing is, they didn't score. And one of them completely missed the target. One of them was straight at the keeper. And let's be real, if we had a proper striker there, we would have scored that. Shot where players see fit. Yeah, but you can say that. But when you have seen players like Ian Wright, Nicolas Anelka, Thierry Henry, Robin van Persie, Alexis Sanchez, Aubameyang, even Lacazette to a certain extent, score goals one-on-one in certain ways, and you then see Jesus going one-on-one and fluffing them. Odegaard one-on-one and missing the target like completely, that is a problem. Because if it's not Monaco, if it's a bigger team, we are done. If we cannot score one-on-ones, we are done. Last year it was as well in Champions League when Leipzig played Real Madrid. Leipzig was one-on-one with Lunin at the time 2-3 times. And the same happened in final against Borussia Dortmund. It was 2-3 times that the Yemi was one-on-one and players like that, and they shit the bed. They hit it straight at the keeper or they missed the target completely. What happened in the end? Real Madrid scored winning goals instantly. They missed those chances, and at the end it cost them. Luckily, this was Monaco. But if Arsenal don't score these things, it will cost us. Against Monaco, we created those 5, 6, 7 chances, 3, 4 one-on-ones. Against bigger teams, we won't create as much. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. But there are teams who know how to shut us down, who know how to defend. We saw what happened against Inter Milan. What do you think is going to happen against, as I just said, against Diego Simeone and Atletico Madrid? We saw what happened last year against Bayern Munich. Will we do the same thing again this year if we face them and everything? Against bigger teams, there will be less chances and we need to be more clinical. And if we cannot do that, ultimately, long term, it will cost us. And that will also cost us during this season in Premier League if we cannot start scoring goals when we need the most and in these situations. Because these one-on-ones technically are one of the highest percentage chances to score. But we don't. That is the big issue. Not repeat the same. Yeah, that's the thing. That is the issue. If we had an amazing game, then it makes sense. If we had a very bad game, then it makes sense. But if we have these mediocre performances, more or less it will be the same thing. Standard Saliba performance. Saka not the best performance, but he gets GA. Jesus and maybe Jesus would be different talk and everything. But overall, it's the same. I can give Saka man of the match. He got man of the match. Skelly was fantastic. I can give him an... Let's be real. I'm going to give him an 8. Even 9. We kept a clean sheet. He did well. And rest of them had standard performances. Rice had a decent performance as a 6 for once as well. I'm hearing that Arsenal fans are saying Jesus is back. Exactly. Arsenal fans are saying, oh, Jesus, for this game against Monaco, he gets an 8. He gets a 7. He got 1 assist, dude. Rest of the game, until he got that one-on-one and missed. I barely knew he was playing. Didn't see him almost on the pitch. He misses one-on-one. He misses 2 one-on-ones. How can you give 7-8 for that? Because if this game finished in a draw, which also it could have been a possibility, because when Mbolo missed the net, it was still 1-0. When they had another chance, it was still also 1-0. We easily could have been 1-1. It could have been 2-1 as well, if we got unlucky. David Raya had a shocker yesterday, I'm not gonna lie. As good as he is, as much as I knew he would play instead of Ramsdale very quickly, his distribution yesterday, yes, it was genuinely painful to watch. I'm not gonna cap. That is something I'm gonna put against him, and he needs to improve on that, definitely, in my opinion. Exactly. We need not just one-on-ones, but in general, we get many. Sometimes when we create chances, we get chances from very good shooting positions, and we just miss the target completely. We don't even get it on target sometimes. That's how bad it is. That is one of the reasons I don't think we are not going. Exactly. That is one of the things. In Champions League, it's 2 games. Anything can happen, right? But to make anything and to create that those words may come to life, basically, that anything can happen, right? You need to create and you need to finish the creation. And we can create. We saw that yesterday. Might be a one-off, we'll see against Everton, because we know how Sean Dyche sets up his team and plays, but we need to also finish what we created. We need to finish this thing. We need to start clinical finishing. But you cannot start it. That's the thing. You either have the finishing touch and killer instinct, or you don't. There are some things in football you cannot teach. Yes, you can learn technique, you can learn some angles and everything, but there are some things you just either have it or you don't. And there are many things that we don't have, we are missing in the team, and that's why we generally need some signings in January ASAP. And to be honest, Jesus openly said a year and a half ago that scoring goals isn't his attribute. And we saw that yesterday as well. Basically, on a silver platter, you got that scoring goals isn't his main attribute. Odegaard, Martinelli, Jesus, yep. We could have won 6-5 nothing. It could have been 5-6 nothing after the first half even, if we could have finished. Yeah, I saw that. Dude, let's not even. Let's not. Dude, I just cannot deal with this. I genuinely I cannot deal with this. I genuinely cannot deal with this. Arsenal somehow are third in Champions League, by the way. Let's switch it off a bit. Arsenal are third in Champions League. Liverpool are first. Barcelona are second. Arsenal are third. We have the same points as well, quite a few, 5 teams. But ultimately, we are third. If we win both of our games, we are automatically in the top 8 because nobody can overtake us. If we win one game and draw one game, then it could go either way because there are lots of teams breathing on our necks and they are basically one win/draw away from overtaking us. It's very close currently. We still need to play Dinamo Zagreb, who are 24th, by the way. They have 8 points on -5 goal difference. Big up Bayern Munich for that. And we still have to play Girona, who are 30th with 3 points. So those are our 2 games that we have left in Champions League. Dude, isn't next round PSG versus Manchester City? Like 22 versus 25th. What a bottom side feature we're gonna have next time Champions League restarts. But yeah, we need to win both games and we are guaranteed to be in top 8. That's what we need to do. And here is the thing Nathan is talking about. Here is the thing what Nathan is talking about. Near Arsenal Stadium, there is a mural of set-piece coach Nicolas Jover. Now, I'd rather not speak, because if I speak, I'll get in trouble. But it's bad enough that we have Josh Kroenke on a big poster next to Emirates on a house as one of those things. There is now a mural for Nicolas Jover. Few set pieces, and it basically makes half of our season, and instantly he has a picture outside Emirates. Pretty much. That is actually mad. And there are rumors, I haven't seen it, but there are rumors that there's also a mural of Kai Havertz together with Win the Dog somewhere there. That is as well somewhere. Like, I'd rather not speak. I genuinely rather not speak. Rather not speak. But this is a bit of a laughing stock, I'm not gonna lie. Anyhow. In other news, Arsenal's under-19s have crashed out of Champions League, ironically enough. Despite beating Monaco yesterday, they have been knocked out of the UEFA Youth League. The side won 2 and lost 4 during their league phase campaign. Not good enough. Genuinely not good enough. Maybe they will learn from it, maybe not, but our youth just shows that our youth academy is just not good enough. Genuinely just not good enough. Wait, let's check this. Youth Champions League. What did we do in Youth Champions League this year? So, we lost to Atalanta 4-1. I hope you can see this. We won against PSG 1-0. We lost to Shakhtar youth team 1-0, by the way. We lost to Inter 4-1. We lost to Sporting 3-0, and we beat Monaco 2-0. Our under-19 youth team is just not good enough, and that just shows, doesn't it? Last year we lost to Lens 2-0 as well. It just shows that our youth team is just not there. It's not good enough. And our youth system is a bit flawed. It needs improvements, definitely quite quickly. So, yeah, it is what it is, I guess, at the end of the day. At least our big team is doing quite decently. And this is the mad stat of the day. If Gabriel Jesus would have scored against, who we just played, Monaco, he would see the scoreless streak in 1 year and 12 days cease to exist. But since he didn't score against Monaco, this streak is getting extended. He hasn't scored in Champions League for 1 year and 12 days. 1 year and 12 days. Dude, 1 year and 12 days. That is actually wild. You mean Palmeiras, right? It's Palmeiras, his boyhood club. Palmeiras, right? Wait, this now raises the question. When was his last goal in Premier League then? He has scored in EFL Cup. So he scored against Preston in 3-0 win 2 months ago. No, month and a half ago. Month and a half ago. When was the last time he scored in Premier League? Let's see. When was the last time Jesus scored in Premier League? That actually could be a nuts one. Well, it was last year. Last season, that's first of all. He scored last season. And he scored the last goal against Forest on January 30th this year. He hasn't scored nearly a year in Premier League as well. Like, he's on 250, 240 grand a week, and he hasn't scored a goal in Premier League for nearly a year. Nearly a year. Like, what are we doing here? Why is he still at the club? When he said scoring goals isn't his main forte, per se, well, he should have been sold right then. He hasn't scored in Champions League for over a year, and he hasn't scored in Premier League nearly a year. This is actually wild. January 30th, he scored the last goal in Premier League. So basically, we are 11 months in. 11 months has passed, and he still hasn't scored in Premier League. Somehow his value has increased, by the way. Somehow. According to Transfermarkt. But here we are. I have no idea what is going on there. Obviously, Arsenal are still interested in Dan Ashworth. So, take that as you will. And this is the big one I also wanted to talk about. Mikel Arteta. Oh, Corinthians are also interested. That's actually quite nice. Mikel Arteta speaking on Calafiori. Bear with me here. We need a... Mikel Arteta on Calafiori's absence. We need a cage there because he wants to go out, train and play. We need to calm him down because he is so willing. It is the way he is, the way he plays. It started with a national team with a kick. Then he had the knee issue. After that, because of the injuries in the squad, he had to play more than we wanted. And then he got the issue in his groin. So we have signed the Win the Dog. We have Donkey Kai Havertz, who loves donkeys. We still have Nuno Tavares, who loves lip-sync the dogs and stuff like that. And now we are putting Calafiori in cage. Like, what the hell is even that about? Like, seriously. Anyone want Calafiori? Anyone want Calafiori? That would be quite interesting. Anyways, some transfer rumors. Daily Dusan comes back. Daily Dusan Vlahovič kicks off, I guess, right now before the transfer window even opens. Arsenal are considering a January move to sign Dusan Vlahovič, 24-year-old striker from Juventus. That's according to Team Talk. Now, it's bad enough that Vlahovič earns 420 grand a week in Serie A, by the way. In Juventus, the highest paid player in Serie A he is. But how would he sign for Arsenal? Do you think Arsenal would go even for him, by the way? Like, seriously, he had a chance to join Arsenal. He left Arsenal, Arteta, Edu on red on WhatsApp messages and joined Juventus from Fiorentina. Now that Arsenal are doing somewhat good and Juventus are kinda on a down low a bit, they're recovering, now we are linked with him again. 420 grand a week he's earning at Juventus. Who is paying that unless Saudi? If he wants to come to Arsenal somehow, no more than half of that. 210 grand. No more than half of that. Let's be real. Come on, he's not even scoring that much in Serie A, by the way. He's not even scoring that much in Serie A. Where is he? Dusan Vlahovič. See? Serie A. 13 games, 6 goals, 1 assist. Like, that doesn't fly as well. That doesn't fly as well at all. Oh, big up TKA. If we buy Vlahovič, might as well lock off the league for the coming 3 seasons. We ain't winning shit. That is the thing. He's on 420 grand a week. Like 420 grand a week in Serie A. Like, who is paying that? We ain't winning shit with that guy. Like, Arsenal allegedly want him though. Allegedly. Who would you sign in January? If you, let's just say, Kroenke's give you right now 100 million. Who you are going for? Who you are going for? He hasn't scored more last season. 16 goals, 10, 7, 17, 21. Like, nothing special in that regard, I'm not gonna lie. And Serie A technically is an easier league, according to other people, but it's not that easy. I don't want to see Dan Ashworth at Arsenal. He did not succeed Man United. I would rather sign Ignori than Calafiori and sign Eze than Merino. I would not like... That's the thing. Instead of Merino, I wanted Fabian Ruiz. I'm gonna be honest with you all. I wasn't a big fan of Merino, and I wanted Fabian Ruiz. For number 10 backup, I wanted Olise, because he could, even though despite injuries, he can play right wing, he can play number 10. Plus, he was only 45-50 million. I wanted one of them too. And nothing of that happened, obviously. We signed Raheem Sterling instead. When Edu said be excited, that you will be excited by the end of the window, so here we are. Ashworth wanted United to sign Graham... what's his face? England manager. My brain. Southgate. Instead of Amorim, right? If your general CEO and whatever, the sporting director wants to sign Southgate for United, I don't want him near Arsenal. Because you know that if Arsenal, at some point Arteta goes, he might actually kind of suggest signing Southgate to Arsenal. Like, that is a possibility. Would you take Southgate at Arsenal? Imagine the scenes. Like, I don't trust that guy. He has done some good stuff, I'm gonna admit, but there are also some very questionable decisions. 5 months at United and he just pees the scene. That is actually quite wild. Duran or Osimhen for 100 million. I can get behind that. I definitely can get behind that. 100%. 100 million just triggered the release clause of certain someone. TKA wants Gyökeres at Arsenal. He wants Gyökeres at Arsenal. Or do you mean Nico Williams? Or Zubimendi? One of those, right? In CD, Rice, 6 Rice or Party for number 10, number 8, Odegaard, Ranieri, Merino, Jorginho, Zinchenko when he's fit, and left wing for Trossard when he's back is the best, or Saka, Nelling. Dude, it's wild. Exactly, Salgate, yeah. Gyökeres, I don't like Nico. Yeah, I don't like... Nico Williams is one of those. He's like, what's its face? Arsenal have had these type of players. Something like... Nico Williams screams a bit Nicolas Pepe to me. He has lots of pace. If he used properly, he's very effective, right? And if he's on it, he's unplayable. But if he doesn't feel like it or he gets locked off, he's invisible. So you get either or. You don't get anything in between, basically. He's either hot or he's cold. Katy Perry settings. So, dude, Iñaki Williams is fantastic. He has spent his whole career at Bilbao, and he's one of my favorite players from La Liga. 100%. One of my favorite players. Take that 100 mil, sell Jesus, that's 140, and use that for Rodrigo. That actually wouldn't be bad. Get Rodrigo, play him on the left. I can get behind that. Gyökeres, Isak, or Osimhen, or Vlahovič, final answer. Gyökeres, Isak, or Osimhen, or Vlahovič. If I would put my list, right, it would be... Wait, let me make this properly. From these 4 players specifically. I would say Gyökeres, Osimhen, Isak, and then Vlahovič. Even though I'm low-key starting to get a bit... how to say? uncertain about Gyökeres as well, a bit, and Isak as well. Although they are leaving, most likely in summer, there will be chance to get them. But somehow I'm a bit on the fence with them all of a sudden. Yeah, Osimhen before Isak. I cannot put my finger on specifically why. Like, that sounds very weird because I made the list just now in front of you. But somehow Osimhen kind of convinces me more than Isak to a certain level. And that for me is a weird one. I know it sounds weird, but it is a weird one. See, Nathan wants either Osimhen, Isak, Gyökeres, and then Vlahovič. I want Gyökeres first signing, Omar Marmoush, Alex Baena. Dude, I would love Alex Baena at Arsenal. That would be our Santi Cazorla reincarnated, pretty much. Dude, Alex Baena would be fantastic at Arsenal. 8 Nori as a left back, although he cannot defend properly. Unless we play 5 at the back. Isak Hein. Why do I get the feeling that's the Swedish center back? I might be tripping here. Or Jonathan Tah. Tah is for free and he most likely is going to go to Bayern Munich. So that might be a bit off then. If we need a left back, Lamptey is a right back, isn't he? Estupinian is a left back, but maybe. You know that I do. Of course I do. So yeah. You don't rate Oh, that's the Nathan. You got a question here. Don't you rate Gyökeres? Osimhen, yes, he can hit the ball in the net volley and score 20 plus goals. Yeah, like Gyökeres has. The Gyökeres one is an interesting one. I don't think it's a coincidence that he has fallen off as soon as Amorim has left Sporting. Amorim didn't even want to leave Sporting until the end of the season, but United kind of forced the hand and everything. But it's not a coincidence that Gyökeres and Lisbon Sporting have kind of fallen off as soon as he left. So it's a bit of a weird one. Maybe he's talking about Karl Hein, but who wants Karl Hein? Was it Amorim or who wanted Karl Hein? He's at Valladolid. Who wanted? I think it was Amorim who wanted Karl Hein. Or was it Ten Hag who wanted Amorim? Wanted Hein instead of Onana. One of those two. Your answer, TK. I don't see a finesse in his shots. Plus, I think he will go Barca. Yeah. For me, with the Gyökeres thing, for me, it's either United or Barcelona. Only way, well, basically, it's United because there's Amorim. It's Barcelona because they need to replace Lewandowski, although with the money issues and the fact that even at the moment, Dani Olmo might be a free agent by January, or in January specifically, since they cannot register him. It's a bit of a weird one. I read today they're trying to sell Christensen as soon as possible so they can pay the money so they can register Olmo for the rest of the season. So, and the third one, by the way, is Man City. Because there are rumors about Haaland maybe in a year or two leaving to Real Madrid or Barcelona as well. And apparently City have identified Gyökeres as his replacement, so it could be kind of interesting. Marlon, don't let this bad Sporting patch fool you. Yeah, that is the thing, but you need the right manager. For me, and I know I have said this on my stream for a month, if not more, but I don't trust Mikel Arteta to coach a striker. Because when we had Golden Boot winning Aubameyang, he played left wing back half the time. We had Lacazette who was still cooking, and he played him number 6 half the time, and their output massively dropped. And when he was at City, Mikel Arteta under Pep never had a proper striker. He had mostly wingers / number 10s playing that striker with Mahrez, KDB, Jesus, and everyone. He played even Zinchenko as a number 10. And it kind of feels that Arteta has never coached a striker. And I kind of get the feeling either he doesn't want a striker, he wants like more, as he has said himself, Swiss Army knife type of players, or he just doesn't know how to coach one. And if we put, let's say, 100 bags on the table and we sign a striker, Arteta might genuinely just screw it all up. And that for me is a big question mark currently. It's bad enough that I question his tactics at times, his substitutions, because it's all the same all the time and player per player and everything. No plan B or plan C or plan D during games and some other things. But the fact that we are not signing a striker in a time where we desperately need a striker, surely cannot be solely on the club that Joshua Stan or they don't want a striker. Maybe Edu even wanted a striker, but Arteta doesn't want one. Yes, we have heard that we wanted Šeško in summer, and Šeško allegedly turned down Arsenal because he got told straight to his face that he's gonna play second backup dancer, basically, to Kai Havertz. And yesterday we actually saw that Havertz is best utilized from the bench. Because when we played Jesus, yes, it's not great playing Jesus, he missed 2 one-on-ones, but in general, he actually makes us flow better in the attack. We are more fluid, more quick, more agile, more direct. With Havertz, it's a bit sluggish. As I say all the time, it feels like we are playing with a guy up top who's been shot with a tranquilizer dart in Kai Havertz. So it's a bit of a weird one. Ruiz, Zubimendi, Baleba for CM targets. I wanted Ruiz in front, so I wouldn't say no to him definitely. Gyökeres, Osimhen, Isak, and Vlahovič. Isak Hines is Swedish. Yeah. PSG and Chelsea are looking maybe signing Hines. Diaby. I, to be honest, wouldn't be against Mbuemo or Visa from Brentford as to come to Arsenal. I wouldn't be against that. For me, Gyökeres, Arda, and Lookman is a good transfer window. You speaking January or summer? Because for summer, that is not enough. Because in summer, we lose 2 midfielders. We need a backup for Saka. We need a backup for Odegaard. We need a striker. We technically need a new left wing. We need one more defender, apparently. We need a goalkeeper, proper backup. And we need 3 midfielders. So we need 9-10 players. And we need to sell about 6-7 players. So if you think it's going to be a January or summer window, because January window like that would be phenomenal, because Arsenal's arguably last biggest signing in January has been Aubameyang. And that also was solely because we did the worst swap deal in history of football when we swapped Alexis for Mkhitaryan. Like, I think left wing is more priority than striker, but world class. That's the thing. For me, that is also a big thing. If Arteta doesn't know and cannot coach a player to get better, like we have seen arguably with Martinelli and some other players, maybe he cannot make them better. Maybe Arteta should actually realize it and go for a player who actually is up there, who doesn't need coaching to get from here to there, but who already is there. Maybe that also could be the case, but who knows. Muani links. Dude, I don't want that French Eddie Nketiah near Arsenal. Don't get me that French Eddie Nketiah at Arsenal. If he comes to Arsenal, I might get cancelled to some extent. Like, I would be it would go nuts on this channel if we signed Kolo Muani as a striker in January. Like, genuinely. By the way, apparently United want to sell Marcus Rashford, right? I'm not gonna lie, it kind of screams Mikel Arteta. Just saying. Muani is meaty at best. Meaty at best. If Barca can't sign Olmo, Arsenal should be there, consider him at least. Yeah, if Barcelona cannot sign Dani Olmo to full extent and they cannot pay the money they need to pay for him, to play him for the second part of the season at least, and he becomes a free agent, Arsenal should be over that like stink on cheese. They should get him ASAP. Stop being 50-cent window shopper settings. Go actually and do DJ Khaled. All I do is win, win, win no matter what. And I'm not talking about the dog. I'm talking about the proper transfer window for a change. So, I guess it is what it is. See? Nathan agrees. Muani, the French Nketiah. Yeah, for me, Kolo Muani is the French Eddie Nketiah. Yeah, Olmo can play cam, CM and wing too. Yeah. Exactly. That would be the case. That's why I would love to have that. I would love to have, actually, I wanted Dani Olmo as well at Arsenal. We were linked with Olmo, with Javi Simmons and all them, man. And in the end, we just sold Emil Smith-Rowe. We loaned out Fabio Vieira, and we made ourselves very short in that position as well. With one player, Odegaard, and when he got injured, we all saw that the wheels pretty much fell off. So it is a bit of an issue, that creative backup, definitely. Because we saw Merino play there, Trossard, Havertz drifting in there. I wonder why he hasn't used also Bukayo Saka as a 10, because he has played there on occasion. So it's weird. I don't want Timo Werner V2, exactly. If we had Rafinha left wing, we would be top of Premier League right now. If we signed Rafinha when he was leaving Leeds, that could be the case. At the moment, I don't see Arsenal dropping 70-80 million on Rafinha because Barcelona most likely will require that. I know it's ambitious, but that's my wishes for January. If we are talking about the summer, I would go for Rafinha instead of Lookman. Yeah, that is the thing. For January, for Arsenal to sign anyone big feels hell ambitious because we usually don't do that in general. We never sign anyone big. We're probably gonna sign another Kim Källström. Basically a Temu version of someone else. We're gonna sign, I don't know, Sterling's twin brother from, I don't know, from somewhere who cannot play. Like, what was the point in signing Sterling if he's not even on the bench and you don't even sub him on when he is on the bench? Like, 100 grand a week and everything. Agree, Arsenal men's team must extremely quick in January window and summer window. I don't want to see Rashford at the... I don't want as well. But just like Sterling, it screams Arsenal. Because when they signed Pedro Neto, Chelsea in summer, literally 10 minutes after when I saw that, I was thinking through this, and I said already then, don't be surprised if we get linked with Sterling and we sign him, because it got told that our Sterling is on the outs, he's training by himself and he's gonna leave this summer. And I said that screams Mikel Arteta. Fast forward till the final day, final hours of transfer window, he's at Arsenal, of course. Hell no to Rashford, exactly, but that screams Mikel Arteta. Fix something that's broken. The new sporting director will be key, yes. The question is, who we gonna get as sporting director? Olabe from Sporting, Ashworth, hello. Will we get that Monaco guy? Will it be Per Mertesacker, Thomas Rosicki? Who else is there? Who else has been talked about? I know about 4 or 5. Is there anyone else? I hope we can get Ruiz, Zubimendi and Osimhen, and hopefully we can get someone decent. That is the big thing. Hopefully we can get someone actually pretty damn decent. By the way, I want to get your thoughts, specifically TKA, on this. Arsenal have a mural of set-piece coach Nicholas Jover near Emirates. Your thoughts? Your thoughts on this? Because it kind of pisses me off, I'm not gonna lie. Because we have Josh Kroenke picture next to Emirates on a house wall, pretty much full-blown. No Diddy and that, of course, pause. And apparently there's a mural somewhere there as well with Kai Havertz together with Win the Dog. So, I'm a bit confused what is happening here. Genuinely. What is happening here? Rob, don't forget to thank Galatasaray for dropping Osimhen's price. Dude! I'm just lucky he didn't play against RFS, by the way. Because we drew against you a lot. Well, against Galatasaray, per se. So, I'm happy. He didn't play against us, so I'm kind of happy. Still 2-2. Still... By the way, how are we doing in the Europa League? We're playing Tel Aviv, I think, at the moment. Besiktas losing to Bodo Glimt. Lazio winning against Ajax. Porto winning against Midtjylland. Eintracht 1-1. Okay, Maccabi against RFS 1-0. 60th minute. Stats of the game. Boring. Wait, what the hell is this? They're winning 1-0, but they have 0.08 XG. What the hell? Spurs drawing with the Rangers. That is fun. Sociedad 3-0. Anderlecht 2-0. What's happening in Conference League? Ghent, Jagiellonian, anything good here? No, they're just genuinely random scrubs playing. That is kind of wild. If I speak, I get suspended for it. I get that. I'm trying my best to hold it all back. And we need both start finishing our chance. Exactly. Cunha. Yeah, like, putting it out there, I've seen Arsenal being linked with João Pedro and Mateusz Cunha. Would you take any of those two at Arsenal? In January even. Mateusz Cunha or João Pedro. Would you take any of those? Gala didn't lose this season. Now comes, so RFS got a great... Yeah, that's the thing. That is the thing. We actually got a draw. We got our first draw of European football for RFS in the big stages. And that was against Gala, by the way, so that's kind of achievement. And we drew against someone else. Who else we drew against? I forgot now. I generally forgot. Was it Anderlecht? Yeah, yeah, we drew 1-1 against the Anderlecht as well. Omorodian could be a good show. I don't want projects anymore, man. We are in phase 5. We are signing project players, dude. I don't want that. If we sign a proper striker and proper winger, and then we sign Omorodian as a backup to learn and everything, okay, cool. But if we sign him and throw him straight into the dragon, then no thanks. Brahim Diaz, yeah. João Pedro, no, but Cunha, yes, if there is a clear plan. That's the thing. Mateusz Cunha kind of screams Arsenal in a way, doesn't he? Because he fits every Mikel Arteta's criteria. He can pass, he can dribble, and most importantly, he can play about 3-4 different positions on the pitch, which Mikel Arteta seems to love somehow, weirdly. So that definitely screams Mikel Arteta in that regard. For backup right wing, I wouldn't be against... Generally, for Arsenal's backup in right wing, I wouldn't be against Mbeumo, for example, for Brentford, or Wissa from Brentford. Those two, I don't know, somehow feels that they could be the case. On loan out, a good left back. Šeško, yeah, Šeško is also a project. The thing is, though, if we sign Šeško, I kind of get the feeling he actually might start this season. Or not this season, next season. Because one thing, the more I watch this, the more I realize, and if you rewind the tapes, that Havertz is better off the bench than as a starter. As a number 9, at least, for me. So that is the case. Arsenal bench player, yes. So, João Pedro, Mateusz Cunha. I would say either one of those. I understand if Muriel was better when we had won several trophies, but I don't trust... Exactly, that's the thing. Arsenal have won jack shit in the last 5 years besides FA Cup, right? We won FA Cup in the first season of Mikel Arteta in the first 6 months with a squad that was deemed toxic, negative, useless, overpaid, awful, and needs to get binned, right? Then he spends nearly 800 million and has won nothing. Our squad is still with players that are subpar, mediocre, useless, and they get paid even more than the players who were awful and useless when Arteta just joined. Yet Edu said that we needed to get rid of them when he just signed. So we are where we were 5 years ago, technically. We are in top 4 race at the moment, but technically we are where we were. We are doing the same things we are doing under Arsene Wenger, fighting for top 4, currently at least. We are still in a title race, but kind of not in a title race. But ultimately, yeah. We are where we were under Arsene Wenger, pretty much. And Arteta feels like he has more power in the club than Arsene Wenger had before. And now with the potential expansion of Emirates Stadium and everything, they have extra excuses why they won't spend money in in transfer windows, and we will not actually buy proper players. Oh, we need to pay off the stadium, we need the debt and everything. It's generally rinse and repeat, and it works somehow. Cunha can play 9, he's a second striker, which we already have in Havertz. He's a backup for Havertz, but I want better than Havertz. Yeah, that's the thing. But who will take Havertz? He's on 265 grand a week. Sound like Jesus. 245 grand a week. Cannot score to save his life. Who's gonna do that? Can make Cunha fit into that position, him and João Pedro. Nah, but João Pedro, he's in... Yeah, that's the thing. To be honest, Arsenal, big part of Arsenal's team is injury prone. Another big part of Arsenal's team is also very inconsistent. He can cook at Arsenal, I'm telling you, dude. Yeah, when we can do a UCL mural, this... Just know that Cunha will be around 40-50 and Osimhen is 68. I assume you mean money, not years, right? But I would take Osimhen at Arsenal. I'm not gonna lie, genuinely. In January, not so sure. I just don't trust Kroenkes and Kroenkes more specifically, to make massive statement signings in January. On the other hand, 100% can guarantee you that City will go out in this January transfer market, sign 2-3 players to cover Rodri, to get a backup for Haaland and maybe another midfielder. 100%. Can also kind of put your money on the fact that Liverpool will sign someone because they didn't sign anyone pretty much in summer. And they tend to do their best business in January specifically. So we'll have to wait and see on that one as well. But the proof is in the pudding. Arsenal, on the other hand, they do half-ass job in summer and they do pretty much no job in January. I would just go Osimhen instead. Yeah, definitely. That if it was between Cunha and Osimhen, I would take Osimhen for sure. The thing is though, see, you say Osimhen is 68 million, right? If the rumors are true that Gyökeres's money, really the money for him you can pay in summer is also 68 million, go figure. What about Duran, bro? He's young. Dude, the goal Duran scored on Tuesday was fantastic and nuts. That goal was just insane, the way he scored against RB Leipzig. That was insane. The question is, who needs upgrading more, Frodinelli or Havertz? They both. Not gonna lie, both. But in that instance, more? I would say actually Martinelli. And why we don't play Martinelli through middle, I don't know. I still have no idea. Then Marlon says Martinelli. Then it is even more Kroenke out. All these excuses are gone expansion. Dude, that's the thing. That was the excuse in Wenger days. We need to pay off the stadium because we took a loan, spend it over 25 years, 20 million a year or something. Some crap like that, basically. But it's only 20-25 million a year. We consistently get Champions League. Where is all the fucking money going then if we get Champions League on consistent basis? Plus Kroenke could technically add money from commercial deals, from TV revenue and everything. Where is all the money going then? Like, what are they doing with it? Wiping their asses with it? I don't know, for what? Havertz ain't that bad, he can score, he just needs to carry the ball. He can score, but not on consistent basis. We need consistent finishers up top. And with Havertz on the pitch, we look more... we look slower, basically, and maybe less imaginative. With Jesus at number 9, yesterday we saw that we were more fluid, more quick, more agile, and more direct as well. Even though Havertz as a sub was fantastic, he needs to come off the bench more. We need to sign a proper striker maybe and make him come off the bench. Although 265 grand a week for a bench player is kind of nuts, I'm not gonna lie. So we have to make amends with it, I guess. Cunha on the left wing or Pedro? Pedro. João Pedro. Neither. On the left wing, neither. Martinelli could be right wing back like Frimpong, other than that, sell him. That's the thing, if we played 3/5 at the back, Martinelli as a wing back actually would be kind of nice, I'm not gonna lie. Exactly, that is the case. And that could happen again. That for me is the biggest worry with the power that he has now, and he has a big influence on the final decision of signing sporting director and everything. He has a hand in every cookie jar at Arsenal available, pretty much, and that is a bit worrying. He, in a way, feels like has more power than Arsene Wenger had ever at Arsenal, and that is a bit worrisome. I'm not gonna lie. Exactly. But anyways, I think on that note we're gonna end it here because we've been waffling for this for quite some time. So big up everyone who joined, who were here, who chatted. Big up TK for dropping by. Big up Nathan. Big up Comp. Big up Marlon. Someone else was here. I'm generally forgetting the names already. Big up. Yeah, big up Ania. Big up everyone who joined. You have been fan-freaking-tastic. Big up TK. Thanks for dropping by. Bring back Reece Nelson. Dude, he's injured right now, by the way. But he's cooking at Fulham. I think Fulham actually would be kind of tempted to make this deal happen full-time. So there is hope to that as well. Bring me Gasperini, Bandis Paella fraud, dude. Nathan is the biggest advocate for the Atalanta manager. Might as well call for Lookman as well in the midst of things. Maybe take Charles de Ketelaere as well and Ederson with him and everything. Ronaldinho-esque, dude that stopped the ball with his back and they call him Ronaldinho levels and everything, and Ronaldinho-esque. That is a mad statement. Reece Nelson, the same sentence as Ronaldinho. There are some things that should not ever be said, or just, you know, at the wedding, speak now or forever be silenced. That is a statement that should forever be silenced. Genuinely. Anyways, on that note, I'm gonna end it here. Big up everyone who joined, who chatted. It's been my pleasure. You've been fan-freaking-tastic. Have a nice evening. If you still haven't, by the way, subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. I answer pretty much every single comment I get if you watch this as a playback and everything. See you all tomorrow When does Arsenal play their next game? I think it is on Sunday. No, it's Saturday. So tomorrow we have Everton match preview. We're gonna look at Sean Dyche and everything. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, I cannot end it on that one. We need to look at this. We need to look at this. We need to look at this. Now, do you see this? Wait. Do you see this Rangers Spurs game? Rangers versus Spurs. Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. Woohoo! Big up Rangers. Anyhow, on that beautiful note, I'm gonna end it here. Take care, stay safe, have a great evening, have a great Friday, and see you all tomorrow.